Welcome back to Rod Reacts Everything India. Hopefully you're having a good, positive day. I know I always say it in my messages, or in my videos, but I do mean it. I want you to have a positive day. So comment down below. Let us know how you're doing. Let me know where you're from if you're new to the channel. I always like to see where you're from. I do need to catch up on comments. I've been getting a lot of comments on my videos the last couple of days, so I'm going to do that. But for now, we're going to check out the Bhagavad Gita Made Easy Part 2 of 3. I learned a ton in Part 1. People will keep saying, well, you got to read the Bhagavad Gita. You got to read it. You got to read it for yourself. I'm going to, but we're checking out these Made Easy videos so I get an idea of what it is, what I'll find in it, what I should expect, that type of thing. So let's go ahead and check out Part 2. Let's do this now.
So far, Arjuna has been struggling to digest what Krishna has been saying.
Right.
The task of restraining the senses, detaching from the world and stilling the mind seems like a mountain too tall to climb.
I'll be honest. I'm a newcomer to this. It does seem like a lot to digest. It does seem like it'd be a really hard task to do. But if you really want it, if you really see the light, I think it's definitely achievable. It may take some time. It may not take some time. I had a question of like, can you achieve it in one lifetime? And people in the comment sections like, well, you've already had lots of lives. That's why you're in human form now. And some people can achieve it in one human lifetime. Other people, it takes several. That's what I've been told. Let me know if I'm getting the correct information in the comment sections. But so far, that's what I've been told, you know. So I guess everybody's different. Everybody has a different kind of journey, but we're all going on the same path and want the same thing. We want to detach ourselves, right? We truly want that.
Now, Krishna turns Arjuna's attention away from the Atman to himself as the Supreme Lord of all creation. This creation is part of Krishna's lower nature and is made up of the 5 elements: earth, fire, water, air, and space. Not only that, our minds, intellects, and even our egos are part of this creation. But the jivas or souls are different. They are not material, but spiritual. They are part of Krishna's higher nature. But as Krishna points out, while these two groups are part of him, they do not bind him.
So he has two natures, lower and higher. Higher is spiritual, lower is the earth, fire, water, air, space, mind, and intellect, and ego. Okay, I'm learning.
Nothing superior to me, Dhananjaya. As jewels are strung on their thread, so this whole world is strung upon me.
Wow.
The
That's
world
wrong.
and souls depend on Krishna like the pearls on a thread, but he is utterly transcendent. Just like the thread is unseen and provides an order to the universe, Krishna too cannot be perceived directly, but he still provides the natural order of life. Planets orbit stars, seasons change, our body functions. There is an unseen force that makes things happen. He is the heat in fire, the intelligence of the intelligent. But this material world, or Maya, binds our souls and keeps us in ignorance.
Wow.
This divine Maya of mind, consisting of the 3 gunas, is difficult to go beyond. But those who surrender to me alone cross beyond this Maya.
So, you know, we have to surrender to Krishna, or we're bound to everything around us. Is that what I'm getting? Without surrendering, you're going to be bound to all the physical things, all the things that we've desired. Even if we're trying to detach us from those desires, we're bound to them. We want to get past that.
There are 3 qualities which dictate this material reality. Sattva, that of goodness; Rajas, the mode of passion; and Tamas, the mode of ignorance.
So, Sattva, goodness; Rajas, passion; Tamas, ignorance.
Everything in creation is influenced by the varying combination of these qualities. Like a man drowning in the ocean, we too are victim of this Maya made up of the gunas. But what is the way out? Krishna states that it is by surrender to him that we can be rescued and brought to freedom. But people turn to Krishna for different reasons. Some because they are in distress, others for material benefits, some to seek spiritual knowledge, and those because they know the truth of Krishna.
I think I think if you're seeking Krishna for anything, it's a good thing, right? Whether it be distress, material, whatever it may be, like as long as you're seeking Krishna and you're wanting the truth and you want to follow the word and you want to do everything you can to detach yourself from everything around you and just be pure with Krishna, that's the goal, right? That's the end game. That's what you should desire and want.
It is this last kind of devotee that is the dearest of all. He sees beyond this Maya and realizes Vasudevaha Sarvam, that there is nothing but Krishna. But those who do not have the real intelligence or sincerity instead focus their attention on lesser deities who grant limited worldly benefits. Ignorant of the truth, they forget that even these deities gain their power and authority from Krishna. But why do people fail to see Krishna as the Supreme? I am not manifest to all because I am concealed by my Yoga Maya. This deluded world does not comprehend me, the one who is unborn and unfading. The point is that...
So really, if you're, I feel like if you're putting all your faith in these other gods, even though they're gods, I feel like you're robbing yourself. Shouldn't you skip those? Not because they're not important, but because you want to experience Krishna. Why would you want to cheat yourself? I don't know. I don't know that question. I don't know the answer to that question. Maybe you guys can help me out or point me the right direction. But for instance, some people that are watching this reaction, do you worship some of the other gods like he was saying, or do you go straight to Krishna? And if you do worship some of the other gods, why do you do it? Why don't you just go to Krishna? Why don't you go straight to Krishna? I don't know. Please answer those questions for me.
Krishna's true nature lies hidden beyond his Yoga Maya, or power of illusion. To those who have not turned to him, the true glory of his divinity remains a mystery. In the next chapter, Krishna explains to Arjuna that the destination one attains after death is dependent on one's final thoughts. But the last thought at death is not in our hands, but is dictated by our state of consciousness. In other words, our final thought is a reflection of whatever we have been absorbed in. If God has been the goal of our life, then our last thought will inevitably be upon him,
Wow.
and we will reach his abode. This abode is akshara, or imperishable, and is sought after by all the yogis. This material world, on the other hand, is temporary and one of suffering. Krishna points out that a true spiritual aspirant sees that nothing in the world lasts.
Right.
However much we have, death is certain, and even after death, there is no freedom. Instead, we are forced to go to the other planes of existence in the cosmos. Lord Brahma, the god of creation, resides in the highest abode in this universe. But even if we reach here, one is still compelled by karma to return birth after birth. Every time Lord Brahma awakes and sleeps, endless creative cycles occur where souls are brought out into the world and then withdrawn. Every day and night of Brahma lasts millions of years. In the process, we go through endless births and deaths. We are hopelessly caught in this cosmic drama. But how do we break free and attain the permanent abode of God?
On kind of like a side note, it just makes me wonder, how many times have I been reborn? What did I do in my last... And those things aren't important. I guess we probably should detach our thoughts from those thoughts of what did I used to be, because that's not important, right? The important thing is what I desire now.
Yogis, following certain timings in the Vedic scriptures, attempt to do this by leaving their body in the right way and at the right time. They perform intense, vigorous practice. But the devotee who longs incessantly for Krishna doesn't bother with such practices and finds it easy to be liberated because he relies on Krishna. Chapter 9 expands further on the power of devotion. Those who are wise see the truth of Krishna and fix their minds on him with love. Some take vows, singing his praises and performing acts of worship. Others contemplate upon him with wisdom. Krishna makes clear his inconceivable nature is alive and available in the subtlest and most profound way. But because we are governed by our mind and senses, his glory is hidden. Only those who have surrendered to him can reach him. Krishna states, Devotees of the gods go to the gods. Devotees of the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship spirits go to the spirits. But those who worship me go to me.
Oh my gosh, that is so strong. Devotees of the gods go to the gods. Devotees of the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship spirits go to the spirits. But those who worship me go to me. Oh, doesn't that give you chills? It gives me chills.
Like in the previous chapter, Krishna makes clear that what we focus on and absorb ourselves in will decide where we reach after death. Those who are materialistic will go to the devas. Those who are attached to family will go to them. Those who indulge in occult practices will reach the spirits. But
So if you worship the gods, you go to the gods.
Devotees who worship Krishna will go to him. When offered with a mood of devotion, I will accept a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water from one who is pure at heart.
So if you worship those other things, the gods, the family, whatever it may be, then if you die, you're going to be reborn, right? Because you didn't give yourself to Krishna, right? You have to be reborn. So you give it to the gods, you're going to come back, and if you still give it to the gods, you're going to come back. Is that the way it goes? But also karma plays a big part in this. It's confusing me a little bit right there, because can you not build your karma up so big, I don't know, to where you're not reborn? I don't know. I'm a little confused right here.
To attain Krishna, one doesn't require ostentatious offerings, extensive knowledge, or harsh austerity. All one needs is simplicity, purity, and sincerity of heart. It is love that moves Krishna to respond. Krishna calls for his devotees to make every act they perform an offering of this love. Previously, Arjuna had heard of how to perform karma yoga by trying to detach and restrain the senses.
Right.
Now he hears of a karma yoga which is suffused with devotion. It is a practice filled with deep longing for God, a practice that destroys all karmic consequences.
Okay.
This way of devotion is so strong that it captures and transforms the heart, so much so that the worst of sinners can be transformed. As a result, Krishna urges Arjuna in his distressed condition to dedicate himself completely.
So that answers a question I've always had. Can somebody that's done the worst thing on earth, can they change? And according to this, they can. There's an option in there for you to be able to change.
Fix your mind on me, become my devotee, worship me and bow down to me. By engaging yourself in such acts and dedicating yourself to me, you will surely come to me. In whatever situation we are in, however we are, if we absorb our being in Krishna, we will reach him. To those who engage constantly in such practices, worshipping in a mood of love, I give that yoga of understanding, by means of which they can come to me. In chapter 10, Krishna explains that on the bhakti path, wisdom is not gained through self-effort. It is given by Krishna as an act of grace. Those who are forever contemplating upon him are gifted with the inner spiritual knowledge of how to attain him. But even more than this, Krishna states that from within the very heart of his devotee, where he resides, he will lift the lamp of blazing knowledge and destroy the darkness of ignorance. Krishna is not only the Supreme Person on whom the whole cosmos rests, he is the indweller within each and every living being. Having heard the truth of Krishna as the Supreme Lord, Arjuna is overcome with joy and awe, but at the same time, Arjuna is not satisfied. A taste of truth is not enough. He wishes to know more and absorb himself in hearing about the reality of who Krishna is.
And that's what we should want, right? We want to know that. We shouldn't be just satisfied with a taste. We should want the whole thing. We should want the whole experience. We should want the whole desire to know who Krishna is. So I don't see anything wrong with how he feels.
He wants to know how we can recognize him in this world. Krishna has already stated different ways in which he is immanent in creation. And in the next few verses, he enters further into a poetic discourse describing...
Don't we see Krishna in everything, though? Like maybe he doesn't fully understand that we can see Krishna in everything. Everything, right?
Describing the different ways he can be perceived. O Arjuna, of all forms of knowledge, I am knowledge of the Atman, and in debaters I am the ultimate conclusion. I am death who devours everyone. I am the origin of all things yet to be. Amongst feminine virtues, I am fame, good fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, endurance, and forgiveness. The overriding point is that any amazing, wondrous thing that exists in this world is just an infinitesimal fraction of who Krishna is. By describing his own glories, Krishna is expanding Arjuna's mind.
Right.
The mind, as stated in chapter 7, is part of the material world. It is stuck in duality where everything is in accordance with natural laws. But God doesn't conform to these laws. His presence breaks all ideas of logic and philosophical understanding. Little by little, Krishna is preparing Arjuna to behold the true reality that underpins this entire physical universe.
Right.
After hearing these statements, Arjuna's longing increases. There comes a point when words are not enough. As a result, Arjuna asks if he can actually see this
Yeah.
cosmic form which has been described. Krishna replies, "But you cannot see me in this way with your own eyes, and so I give you my divine vision.
Yeah.
Now behold my glorious yoga." Our eyes are bound by this physical world, so Krishna, as an act of grace, gives spiritual eyes which can pierce the veil of material existence.
Can you imagine? I don't even know if Arjun even knows the request that he just gave Krishna. There's no way he could possibly understand what he just asked Krishna to do. And then Krishna, decides, well, I'm going to give you the divine vision that you need to be able to see, the glorious yoga, to be able to see it. Can you imagine that request? Wow. It's just, if you really, really think about it, it should blow your mind,
Suddenly Arjuna beholds the truly shocking cosmic form of the Lord.
Right.
Blazing like 1,000 suns, he sees within it endless heads and arms, the entire universe, heavens and other abodes. He sees all the demigods and rishis of the yajna. There is no beginning, middle or end. It is infinite in nature. Arjuna sees whole worlds being destroyed by gnashing teeth. All creation and souls are present within this one form of Krishna.
Can you imagine that?
But instead of enjoying the sight, Arjuna is trembling with fear at this awesome scene. Within this form, Arjuna also sees his enemies who are ready for battle being swallowed up and destroyed by Krishna. Confused and overcome with emotion, Arjuna asks Krishna who he really is. Krishna replies,
Oh my
I am
God.
all-powerful time that brings destruction to the world. I am here to put an end to these worlds. Even without you, none of these warriors assembled in battle will survive.
Oh my gosh.
Essentially, Krishna is saying, I am life itself.
Right.
Existence and the very movement of existence is all Krishna. Arjuna has been worried about engaging in battle because of the consequences. But Krishna has shown that the battle is already over.
Right.
His enemy...
It doesn't matter what Arjun's going to do because it's already done. It's already done. He might as well do his duty, what he was made for, what he was put on the earth for to do. Because if not, he's not fulfilling he's not fulfilling himself, is he? It's already over. Krishna's already showed him. There's nothing to fear. Just do what you're supposed to do.
have already been slain. Whether Arjuna fights or not is irrelevant. Krishna has already accomplished everything.
What matters to Arjuna, if he actually goes out in battle, it matters more to him, right? He's supposed to do this. This is what he's supposed to do. And without that, he's not going to have his karma. He's probably going to be reborn again, right? He's going to continue the cycle. He has no chance, probably, even to know Krishna the way he needs to know him, I think, because he didn't trust in what Krishna just told him. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting.
In response, Arjuna praises him and further apologizes. Deluded by Krishna's human appearance, Arjuna failed to understand the precious nature of what was in front of him. He asked for forgiveness for any lack of respect. He pleads with Krishna to take this form away which is so overwhelming and return back to his normal person.
Very overwhelming.
Now that the dust has settled, Arjuna wishes to know which is superior, the worship of Krishna with devotion as described, or the path of inquiry and introspection on the formless divinity. These two paths are referred to as the Bhakti Marga and the Jnana Marga. Krishna makes clear that both paths can reach him, but the path of devotion is easy and enjoyable. The path of knowledge, on the other hand, is fraught with difficulty and troubles. Bhakti is easy because it relies on divine grace. To those who are incessantly engaged with Krishna, he is the one who saves them from the ocean of birth and death. The way of knowledge relies on self-effort and is full of obstacles and challenges.
I bet. Yeah.
A devotee, however, progresses with ease and rises above this maya. Krishna then describes in the following verse the qualities of such a devotee. He is equally disposed toward an enemy and a friend. He regards honor and contempt as the same. He has equal regard for heat and cold, and for joy and misery, and he has given up all attachment to the world. Fundamentally, a devotee is one who is beyond the sways of the world and equal in all situations. Such a person is dear to Krishna. Here we find, yet again, that God is not some faraway deity to be feared. He is intimate, close, and loving.
Right.
With the revelation of the cosmic form and the teachings on devotion complete, the Gita enters a new phase in which Krishna begins to give a close, detailed understanding of how our true nature, the physical world, and God all fit together. He brings home to Arjuna the grounding wisdom which will allow us to live a fruitful and spiritual life. Many thanks for listening.
Whew! Doesn't that story right there, and it's not just a story, you know, but doesn't it just give you chills? Doesn't it give you hope, actually? It gives me hope, right? Lots of hope. So I'm going to read over the summary. It says, chapter 7, Krishna explains how all living beings in creation are within him, and how this world of Maya traps devotees. The true devotee does not worship lesser gods, but surrenders to Krishna. So you don't worship the lesser gods. You've got to surrender to Krishna. Chapter 8, the last thought at death determines the afterlife. We are bound by repeated birth and death over many ages. The devotee, however, breaks free by turning to Krishna. Chapter 9, an expansion of chapter 7, the power and ease of devotion which can transform the heart and bring Krishna near. Chapter 10, Krishna's grace provides wisdom and delivers truth. The eminence of Krishna in the world. Chapter 11, the cosmic revelation. Arjuna sees his enemies destroyed. Only devotion can permit one to see this form. In chapter 12, devotion is the easiest path. Krishna outlines the qualities of devotee which is dear to him. So this is powerful. Learned quite a lot. He opened Arjuna's mind up. He gave him the sight to see, you know. It doesn't matter. These things are going to happen, you know. Maybe you should do what you're here for, you know, and trust in me, believe in me, bow down to me, and you'll make it to where, you know, your soul should end up. So, awesome. We only got one more part of these Made Easy series, and I'll definitely react to it. Appreciate it. If you like the video that this guy made, he makes awesome videos. I'm going to leave his link to the channel down below. Definitely go subscribe to him. If you want to continue on my journey, subscribe to me. But for now, I will see you guys next time. I'm sending you guys peace, love, and happiness. And I'll catch you later.